So today we're going to talk about how your budget is affected by percentages and things like that. So the first thing we want to talk about is the two types of expenses, and we talked about this earlier in the year. There are fixed expenses versus variable expenses. So fixed expenses is when you have to pay them. For example, your taxes are fixed. They do not vary every month. Your rent is fixed. Your utilities are fixed. Like, even though they may go up or down, they average out to about the same. Now, your groceries and household supplies, those are variable. They can change every month to month. Your auto insurance is fixed. Your retirement savings should be fixed. Hopefully it's fixed. And then your clothing is variable. And then you have income. So fixed expenses such as car and house payments occur regularly and do not change month to month. A variable expense such as food or gas occurs regularly and is necessary for a living, but you have control over the amount. Right, so that's the difference in fixed versus variable. You typically have income and expenses. So income is a positive money. Expenses are negative money, which means you lose money. You have to pay for them, but they're necessary to pay for. So let's talk about Hannah's monthly budget. In Unit 2, we talked about representing a budget as a circle graph. We saw that on our review. On this unit, we're going to talk about it just in a table. So, Hannah's personal monthly budget shown to calculate the percent of her total budget for each category. Round to the nearest percent or cent. So let's first talk about fixed versus variable. Housing is fixed. Food is variable. Savings is fixed. Transportation is variable. Miscellaneous is variable. So transportation includes like everything. So you can control your gas. You can control lots of things when it comes to transportation. Right, so a few ways that you can calculate this. So remember that percent is a proportion, where percent is over 100, and you have your part over your whole. Well, remember we could also label our percents, and so your percent, instead of being part over whole, could be the budget for that expense. I spelled expense wrong. Over your total budget. So that would be your part, and that would be your whole. So on housing, for example, we don't know how much the expense is, but we know her total monthly budget is $3,785. So right now we're using where we have expense over total. So we're using that label for our proportions. Equals percent, we know is 25 over 100. So when I saw that proportion, I get $946 and 25 cents. So remember, to solve a proportion, we cross multiply. So we would multiply these two numbers together and divide by 100. So that's how we find out an amount given the percent. So now let's do it a different way. Let's calculate the percent given the amount. Well, we still have expense over total, so we know our expense is $325 over our total is $300, and this is my work for this problem, $3,785. We don't know our percent, but we know percents are always out of 100. So when I cross multiply and divide, I get 8.586, which if I round to the nearest percent, it's about 9%. So that is about 9% of the income. All right, well, for warm-ups the next day, we're actually going to calculate these 3 spots. So if you want to go ahead and do them, and then you can check with me during class, go ahead and take care of that.